Hey guys, so I've found being a musician is a bit of a niche industry to be in, and a lot of people have questions about how it is making music and pursuing a passion for your career. So I thought I'd make a little video and answer some of your questions. Let's do it.
So you were on The Voice, the talent show. What is going on The Voice actually like?
It was a good experience overall, I would say. I think I had a lot of different expectations about what it would be like to go on a show. I think there's a few just misconceptions, like first of all, that The Voice or any talent show is like the music industry or it's very closely tied to the music industry. What I found is it's very much like a TV show based around music rather than it's like a music industry thing. Another misconception would be that if you do well on the show, you'll do well in music. I just personally know a lot of people who did well on those shows and didn't end up getting a lot out of it, and vice versa. I know people who they went not as far as me and they make amazing music, and I listen to their music a lot and I really look up to them.
Somebody said, are you doing this to be famous?
100% no. No, I think maybe when I was younger, I did have a little bit of that. I think a lot of people probably have that in the back of their minds. It's like that's attention, right? That's like being attention or success. There's a lot of things in fame that are like desirable things to have. Over the last few years, getting stuck into music, I've just had to kind of really dive into like what I want from this and have my goals and my success internalize that I can decide what they are rather than it be like whatever people like that determines my fate, you know? It's not really why I started making music. It's not what I enjoy about music, because I'm not. Yeah, the real answer is no.
Are all musicians tortured and sad?
That's funny. No, definitely not. That's an interesting question actually though, because the perception of that is because a lot of music is sad, right? So that's their feelings are being conveyed through that music. And I think what I found is it's much easier to write about sad things, and it's much easier to write about love, like heartbreak love, you know, like sad. So it's sad and sad love. I can't quite put my finger on why, but it does seem like it's way easier to write about sad things than happy things. And maybe that's why it seems like all musicians are tortured and sad. I know all of my songs, when I first started writing, were all so sad. I don't know, writing a song, you can just put that sadness in a song and then it's there and not here. No, I don't think all musicians are tortured and sad.
What will happen if you don't make it big in the industry?
I don't know. I don't really think that far ahead, to be fair. I'm not a forward-thinking sort of person. Success in this industry is kind of an external thing. My success, as much as it is about me making good music, it is kind of about an audience accepting that music and streaming that music, buying that music, coming and seeing me play. So in terms of success for a musician, it is quite external, and I've struggled with that a little bit. In the last little while, I've kind of wrapped my head around defining my own success internally, because then I can actually be in control of my success. So for me, my success in music is not about me making it, although that'd be great and it would give me financial security and that sort of thing. My success is just to make my next record better than the one before it. And as long as I'm consistently making better music that I internally think is better, not external, then I think I'm on the right path. And that's the best I can do, really.
Do musicians actually make any money?
That's a tricky question. Musicians do make money. It's just what percentage of musicians make money and how much. It is a very lucrative industry, but that's only for a very small amount of people at the top. But the way we're paid now, with streaming services being the major way people hear our music, it doesn't favor smaller or independent artists. The pay is actually not good at all. For me personally, I make my money doing gigs. So I live in Sydney, Australia, and I play gigs around here, and that's how I make the majority of my money actually. Money through streaming my original music is actually not as much as you would think. If you own all the rights to your music and you get 1 million streams, it's roughly $7,000. That's not a lot of money, considering 1 million streams is a lot of streams.
How much is that per stream?
I think it's 0.007 cents per stream.
Go stream Ethan Conway on Spotify, everyone. Help him get his coin.
Yeah, give me that 0.007 cents.
If someone says he's got so much natural talent, what's your immediate reaction to that? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, that's a very common thing that people say to musicians, like you're gifted, or that's just a voice that you're born with, or that happens all the time, not just to me, but heaps of musicians. And I think it's kind of like a very simplistic thought to have. Like, I mean, you see this person, oh, that's a gift. I couldn't do it, so it must be a gift. But it actually is a thing that the people probably, the person you complimented probably worked very hard to get to that point. But also too, anybody can. I could not sing for the life of me when I was 16. I only started singing when I was 17. So if you heard me try and sing when I was 16, I would have been shocking. It's a thing you learn. It's a skill that you can learn. You just got to put practice in. One of my vocal teachers always used to say, hard work beats talent every time. I didn't really agree with him at the time, but I definitely believe that now. No matter how talented you are to begin with, if somebody puts in more hours than you, they're gonna get better than you at some point.
If a song that you hate blows up, how does the success of that song make you feel as an artist?
Interesting. That's kind of a jealousy question, like if you're jealous of somebody else's success. I do get those sort of negative feelings sometimes. I've got to keep myself in check. If I hear a song that's blown up that I think is quite simplistic, or I don't like it personally, and it's getting a lot of success, and obviously being an independent artist is very hard to get traction with my own music that I put a lot of time and effort into. Yeah, you do kind of compare yourself to what's the standard, what's being played on the major radio stations and getting commercial success. It's just a negative way of thinking about the whole industry. If you're constantly comparing yourselves to other people, you don't know what their team's like, or what they've gone through, or how long it's taken them to get to that point. A lot of smaller musicians or emerging musicians have those feelings, but we just kind of need to keep ourselves in check and keep pushing through. That their success doesn't make our success any less.
Someone said, what are your thoughts on the industry right now and trying to be a professional in it?
For an independent artist, that's all I can sort of give my perspective on. It's quite hard. I feel like now more than ever, you need to just be an expert in everything. It's quite a difficult thing, but I love doing music, so that's what we do. Yeah, nobody said it was an easy industry. Nobody said that. It's already known as a hard industry, yet so many people want to be musicians. So that just goes to show you how awesome the ups are. And as far as working in the music industry, from a business perspective, it kind of gets a little bit muddy sometimes, in my experience, when you're mixing like strong feelings about things with money. Your business relationships and music can be quite difficult to navigate because of that. Everybody cares. A mix engineer really cares about his job mixing a song. So it can be hard to navigate talking to that person. And then, I care about the outcome of the song, so it's hard for them. It's quite a minefield to navigate when their feelings are so strong. As
a musician, I find that I go through slumps as much as I go through periods of motivation. Do you have the same thing?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's common. I have a lot of muso friends, and yeah, definitely go through slumps and periods of extreme motivation to get things done, and then periods where I'm just not inspired to make music, or not motivated for whatever reason. Our lives can be quite complex. I can't really pin it down to one thing, but that comes with the territory. Like, if you're working in an industry which is tied to your passion, it's not just like, all right, let's get this job done because it's our job. It's like kind of it's a bit deeper than that. So when your emotions fluctuate and these motivation swings fluctuate, it can really affect you, mentally. If you're not motivated to do your purpose in life, that's kind of a big thing. It kind of affects you a lot. If any other musicians out there are having a similar thing, and maybe you're going through it for the first time, you're having doubts and stuff, I would just say it happens to me, it happens to a lot of people I know as well. I just find I listen to it and go, I'm not in the mood to make music right now, and I am okay with that. I will be again soon. So I'll just take this time to do other things and to maybe unwind and relax. If I'm not inspired to make the music, I can't just sit there, especially for my stuff, I can't just sit there and make a song when I don't want to. So,
are all of the songs that musicians write about things that have actually happened to them?
No. Me personally, I write about all different things. Some things are literally stories that have happened to me. Then there's a part where you can have a story and sort of exaggerate it, or kind of use a true story to sort of expand it and make it into a point. So it's kind of a blend. And then some songs are just completely made up. It doesn't have to be real or fake. It's like kind of like a comedian telling a joke. You know, I was down the post office the other day. Like, they weren't down the post office the other day. They tell that joke every night. It's more about what that gives to the audience. You know, it's telling a story to the audience, so it doesn't really matter.
So someone said, read your own music. Are there any new genres you'd like to explore in the future?
Of course, and I don't really know what they'll be. Just on this new record that I'm making now, it is moving in a different direction than my last record. A few of the songs in there have elements of different genres that I've never touched in before. A lot more electronic stuff and sort of that produced pop sound. I've been getting into a lot more production and learning about that side of music, so it's coming out in my music that I'm making now. In the future, I'm like not barring anything. I think I'll just make music that I think sounds good, and if I'm led into a certain genre, that's where I'll be. Anybody in the music industry that you would know that's had a career for longer than 20 years, their sound will probably be different than what they originally made. Like Madonna or David Bowie, even Miley Cyrus's new stuff is completely different to her old stuff. Your music evolving with you is a kind of a necessity.
Is there anything spicy that you'd like to add that you think people don't know about musicians?
We're deeply insecure. I think the majority of musicians that I've met, they just want to make good music. And it's just like, you're stuck in an industry where, you know, the cogs are turning in a certain way right now, and it might be not in their favor, and it's just, they're just stuck in the tornado and they just want to make good music, and it's kind of just like a shitstorm, to be fair. You never know if they were given an opportunity, what sort of stuff they could make. And on that note, we're finally going to wrap this up. Thanks for listening. Yeah, I hope the questions were informative, and yeah, if you want to support me and my music, you can stream. I know it's only 0.007 cents, but it means a lot to me. I really do. That's the whole reason I make music, is to have people listen to it and feel something. So I'll leave some links down in the description if you want to hear some of my music. I've got plenty coming up in the near future as well, so keep an eye out for that. I'll see you next week.